friends, good morning. Come on into my kitchen. I should have got some measuring spoons out. I'm gonna need those. Tablespoon, 1 cup. Hey, if you're watching live, say good morning. I'd love to hear from you. Are you watching? Is anybody there? Am I having technical difficulties again? Hope not. There we go. Hey, Susan. Hey, Sydney. Good morning. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Melissa. Good morning. Good morning. I have a lot of ingredients out. Hello, Sarah. Hey, Hannah. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Faith. Hey, Julie. Good, good. If you're watching live, I'd love if you'd give this a share. No pressure, but it does help me a lot. Let's make some One Plop creamy drops. Creamer. I keep calling them One Plop creamy drops, but they're One Plop creamer drops. Has anybody here made the One Plop creamer drop? I know Cindy Wetzel has. She's made more of them than I have. Has anybody made the One Plop creamer drops? Hey, Mallory, she's here. Hey, Ann. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Shirley. These One Plop creamer drops have revolutionized my coffee. Let me just tell you, they have made my coffee so good. I prefer them now. I put half and half in my coffee yesterday and was like, this isn't that good. I like it better with my creamy drops. You are. Cindy's drinking her tea with her Plop right now. Yay, Carolyn's made them too. These have made my morning coffee so easy. So today I'm going to make another batch, and I'm also going to attempt a shrinker batch because I like the shrinker, which this is funny. I'm making the shrinker and I have no oolong. I'm going to get on Amazon this morning and order some oolong as soon as I'm done here. I like the shrinker, but I haven't had it a lot because it's such a pain. And I did have the shrinker concentrate, which I did, but if you don't drink it all within a certain period of time, it gets a little funky because if it sits in your fridge for days and days, it gets almost a little slimy from the ingredients. So I like the healing shrinker. So I'm going to make the shrinker drops. And the thing about, so Mallory mentioned blooming gelatin intimidates her. The thing about, I'm warming up my water and I don't need to. The thing about the shrinker or the creamy drops is, so gelatin you have to bloom. And the way you bloom gelatin is you put it in cool water, stir it in, let it firm up or let it solidify as much as it's going to, and then you heat it up. And that heating it up is what blooms your gelatin. Well, it really should be done. This is 2 cups of just kind of like room temp water. Not cold, not hot, just room temp. It really should be bloomed because if you don't bloom your gelatin, it can cause stomach upset and you get more benefits. Some people, it doesn't bother their stomach, but you get more benefits by blooming your gelatin first. So this process takes the blooming out because we're doing that ahead of time. We're doing it in cold water ahead of time, and then we're going to heat it at the end of this. So I'm brain cramped for a moment. I didn't print out my recipe. Oh no, that's right. Oh my gosh. I was like, wait, how am I going to heat this back up? It gets heated when you put it in your coffee. Duh. I lost for a moment. I was like, wait a minute. I put my warm water in there, my room temperature water. If I add all my ingredients, when am I going to bloom it? You bloom it when you put it in your coffee. That's the second part of the bloom. So you put 2 cups of water in here, MCT oil. I do 3 tablespoons, and this gives me about 18. So you get less, you get like a 1/4 teaspoon of MCT in each one. So 3 tablespoons of MCT oil. This is just the coffee one that I'm making right now. I'll do the shrinker one after this. It doesn't need to be cool, just room temp. Cold water tends to firm up the gelatin really fast, Mallory, and then you have to throw it in the microwave, which is fine. But it's better to just do like slightly warm or room temp water, just not hot water and not cold water. 3 tablespoons of super sweet. Now this is optional. If you don't like your coffee sweet, don't put that in. I like mine. This actually, I think I'm going to put a little extra in mine because mine is just under where I like it. But it depends on your taste for your coffee. Put your sweetener in, and then a tablespoon of sunflower lecithin. Thank you, Cindy, for linking that. I was going to do that at the top of the post and forgot. So a tablespoon of sunflower lecithin. Now at this point, except for the gelatin, it's done. That's how easy these are. I'm going to put some maple extract in mine. You can put whatever you want. You don't have to put any extract, but I'm going to put about a tablespoon. I'm going to put whatever's in the bottom of my now empty extract because I want them all to be a little mapley. I love maple coffee. Maple is my favorite flavor to put in coffee. Use a frother to blend it. You can put it in a blender, but I use a frother. It mixes it up really well and it helps disperse that MCT. And you don't want chunks from your sunflower lecithin. So you can put this in a blender. You can put it in with an immersion blender. You can use a whatever. Use what you want. Just mix it up so it's completely combined. And then we're going to add our gelatin. Now, I've learned after making this a few times, I use the frother and it takes care of it. There's a couple little tiny bits and pieces, but no, it goes in just fine, Mallory. But you put it in your blender. If it struggles to mix in, put it right in your blender. Then we're going to add our gelatin. Now it's going to firm up quick, and that's okay. Sometimes it stays liquefied enough to pour. Depends on the temperature of your water. Sometimes it stays liquefied enough to pour. Sometimes it firms right up. If it firms right up, we're just going to throw it in the microwave. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it has to be no, the foam doesn't hurt it one bit. It has to be a good frother. So then we're going to add 10 tablespoons of our gelatin. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've gone through more gelatin since I've been making this recipe than I ever did the entire time I've done THM. And just mix it up. And you can use your frother at this point. You can just use a spoon. You just want to get any chunks out. If it firms up, if you get big chunks of gelatin, it's just dependent on your water temperature, and it's okay. Put it in a blender if you want. Put it in use a hand mixer, whatever. Just get it mixed in well so you don't have any chunks. And if your gelatin firms up, all of a sudden you're like, I can't mix this, KJ. It's way too thick. Throw it in the microwave for 15 to 20 seconds. And I'm going to have to do that because it's firming right up, I think. Maybe I won't have to. I don't know. No, I guess not. Throw it right in for 15 to 20 seconds if it firms up. Now, if you are pouring this into molds, it's probably going to firm up. See how slow my frother's going? Because it's getting so thick. If you're pouring it into the molds and it's this thick right here, I'm going to have a hard time putting it into molds because it's thickened up. See that? So I can, at this point, pour it into my molds, or I can put it in the microwave for 15 to 20 seconds, or I can pour it right in a container like this. Stick the molds all together. Pour it right in a container, spread it out, and stick it in your fridge. And I'm going to have one of these in my coffee. See there, I got one chunk of gelatin that I didn't get mixed in. It's no big deal. It'll melt in my coffee. I'm going to throw that in the fridge to firm up. That's it. That's the whole process. They're done. You don't even have to put them in the fridge. You can put them right on the counter and they'll firm up. But I'm putting them in here to make it a little quicker. And we'll make the shrinker drops while we wait. There's so many benefits to gelatin, but the number one benefit is your belly. Can't say benefit. Gut health. It's so good for your gut health. And it makes your coffee creamy without adding cream. Now, when I whiz this into my coffee is gonna look nice and creamy, and as it settles, it doesn't appear as creamy, but it still tastes just as creamy. All right, so let's make a batch. I'm making this one up as I go, okay? So this one I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna rinse out my bowl just to make sure my gelatin doesn't interact here and firm up my mix. All right, we're gonna make a batch of the shrinker drops. Yes, that's right. It has essential amino acids as well. They are dairy free, and you're going to cut them into 18, and one is a sipper level. Mallory, you can use it as a sipper. Anything more than one, if you use up to 2 or 3, it's a fuel pull. Okay, so let's do the shrinker one. Like I said, this one is, I'm kind of winging this as I go. So we're going to do 2 cups of the water, the room temperature water again. Okay, I think I went a little under on that one. 2 cups of the water. Yep, I just ordered 2 bags. What is that? Chunk of something in there. Must have come out of my water. Gross. Something black in there. Just a bug. Ain't no deal. All right, we're going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. This is the healing shrinker, which I much prefer over the regular shrinker. The healing shrinker does not have almond milk, and I love the healing shrinker. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of super sweet. Again, you can add a little extra. I'm doing heaping tablespoons. And the thing about this is if you make them up and you put them in your coffee and you're like, oh, it's just a touch under sweet, you can just add a little extra sweetener at that point, and then next time you make it, you'll be all good. All right. Does the healing shrinker have MCT? I didn't print off the recipe and I feel like I missed that. Can somebody look for me real quick and see if the healing shrinker, I don't use my Berkey anymore, Mallory. You can't get filters for them. Can somebody look up the healing shrinker for me? I just popped my fingernail off and see if there's MCT oil in it. 1 teaspoon per serving. Okay. So I'm gonna do, okay, if it's got 1 teaspoon per serving and I'm making about 20, that's 10 teaspoons. So I'm gonna do about 3 tablespoons. That'll be close enough. 3 tablespoons of MCT. I looked at the recipe before we did this, but I didn't write down MCT for some reason. Okay, so 3 tablespoons of MCT. We're gonna do 6 tablespoons of vanilla. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons. No, it doesn't have to be THM gelatin, Kay. No, it does not. Any gelatin. You can buy the It's Just brand is really good too. I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons of cinnamon. You could use a cinnamon oil if you wanted. Cinnamon extract. I don't know about extract, but a cinnamon oil would probably give you the same benefits. And I'm gonna do half a teaspoon of cayenne. I grabbed one that's not open. I got one in here that is open. Cayenne. I'm gonna do half a teaspoon of cayenne. Or that much. That's probably 3/4. All right. Well, I thought that would rinse that off, but it didn't. All right, I'm gonna froth that up. This is gonna totally make your shrinker so simple. I'm gonna get on Amazon as soon as I'm done this and order some oolong. So it'll be here tomorrow. All right. Now I'm just gonna add my gelatin. 10 tablespoons of gelatin. I need to rinse that out so it doesn't mess up my whole bag. Two. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This will give me all right. How much MCT did I put in here? I put 3 tablespoons, which is the equivalent to 10 shrinkers. I needed to put, I think I needed to put 3 more because I went under. I went half a teaspoon per healing shrinker. I need to put 3 more tablespoons of, I miscounted that. It should be 6 tablespoons of MCT to get a whole teaspoon per serving. There's collagen in the healing one too, right? But I'm not going to put that in mine. Is there collagen in the healing shrinker or just in the regular shrinker? I feel like that's only in the regular. See, now it's too thick. So that's what I was talking about. If it thickens up too much, that now I can't stir it, I guess I can. I'm just going to show you what happens if I throw this in the microwave. Technically, it blooms it and it's fine. It doesn't hurt anything. Throw it in there for 20 to 30 seconds and it will be more liquid again. And if you go to mix something in and you're like, shoot, it firmed up again, it's all right. Just melt it. It doesn't hurt a darn thing. It doesn't hurt a darn thing, but it thickens up fast. But if you have to reheat it 2 to 3 times. The healing does have collagen. I didn't do very good at writing this down. I didn't write that down. Oh, I need more than 15 seconds. She's thickening up way too fast. How much collagen is in the healing one? Is it a teaspoon? Which would be 3 tablespoons. Right? 3. That's about right. We're going with it. Yeah, see, she's firmed way up. Now I'm going to have to microwave it for a lot longer. This is pretty foolproof, though. This is the good thing. Okay, so I got enough for about a teaspoon per serving. See, I could spread that in there as it is. It's thin enough to spread in, and it will firm right up. And if you have to, I feel like I need a bigger container than that one. If you have to microwave this for 30 seconds to get it liquid, do it. It's not going to hurt a darn thing. Now this really does look like a creamy plop. There's my shrinker drops. I'm going to stick them in the fridge to firm up, and then we'll cut one. And give it a, we won't try it because I don't have, boy, these smell good. These smell good. Sherry, I'm just going to watch you pretend that that's fudge. I think I'll know which one's which. Shirley, it's hard. I mean, it's dark. I can't speak. All right. These are going to firm up more, but not a lot. These are pretty much perfect already. They're still a little warm, so they're a little soft. These are going to firm up a lot more than they are, but I'm still going to show you because they're usable right now. But an hour, even probably 20 minutes in the fridge, and they'll be perfect. It does carry, doesn't it? These, Mallory, between 18 and 20 servings. So 18 would be 6 this way and 3 this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 3 this way. These will pull out so much easier when they firm up. So right now they're just kind of a messy brick and they're probably going to fall apart. This is the size container. This is like you could use a mold. This is what do you think this is? A 7 by 11. But you could use a bigger container, and you just want it, no matter what container you're putting it in, cut it into 18. Even if you put it in a bigger container that spreads it out, they'll just be bigger and thinner, or put it in a smaller container and they'll just be thicker. But so these are not perfectly firm yet, remember, because, and they do look like fudge. They're not perfectly firm yet because they haven't sat long enough, but they're firm enough that I can use one. And when that sits in the fridge for a day or two, it'll be fine. And the other thing is, not a day or two, an hour or two, they'll be perfect. And the other thing is, I tried throwing these in the freezer. You can throw these in the freezer and use them straight out of your freezer so that they last forever and a day. However, these have been, my last batch that I made was in my fridge for 2 straight weeks. They would have been fine for another month. I can guarantee these will last in the fridge forever and a day. They're not something you have to worry about. They're not going to go moldy. Leave them in the fridge, and they're gelatin and liquid. They're fine. If you choose to freeze them, just use them in your coffee straight out of your freezer, because if you take them out and thaw them, gelatin gets crumbly. So you don't want to freeze them and then thaw them. You just want to freeze them and use them straight out of the freezer, or just leave them in your fridge. You pour your hot coffee. Your liquid that you're putting it in does need to be hot. You can't put it in a cold shrinker. So if you want, yeah, they do. They cool your coffee down fast too if you put them from the freezer. But if you want to have iced shrinker or iced coffee, just put your creamy drop into your hot coffee or your hot tea, blend it up, and then pour it over ice. So that's it. That's all I got to do is plop that in my coffee, get my frother out of this thing. So I don't know why I put it in there. Well, I was going to say I got to rinse all that cinnamon off, but why? It'll taste good in my coffee. And just give it a good froth. A good frother is important to make good coffee, to make creamy coffee. Yes, the recipe for the coffee drops is up above. Cindy posted it in the comments. The shrinker recipe will write up. But I blend it at the bottom and get it really blended. Make sure there's no chunks left. It only takes a second. And then I bring my frother up to the top, and I froth pretty good at the top, and it just turns it so creamy. And look at that. It's sweetened, it's creamy, it's healing, it's done. And there's no getting out 45 ingredients to make your healing trimmy. It's just one plop. And look at it. And it's absolutely, they're delicious. And the maple in that one, oh, and the sweetener's perfect. It's spot on. Now, the first time you make these, you may get the sweetener off a little bit. There's a brand called It's Just, Mallory. Anthony's also has it too. You just want 100% beef gelatin. Organic beef gelatin is what you're looking for. The first time you make these, be willing to be okay with possible not having it the sweetener you like, because my choice of sweetener in my coffee is going to be different than your choice of sweetener in your coffee. You may want to add a lot more sweetener. You may prefer to use monk fruit. You may prefer to use straight stevia. Use whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Put whatever you want for sweetener in this. And if you make one and you're like, oh, KJ, it's creamy, but it's not sweet enough. Well, the next time you make it, add extra sweetener. And in the meantime, just put a little dash of sweetener in your cup. But they will be, I got one little stray chunk over here. I got to mix that in. Usually, and actually I think I am going to do 2. When I'm having my 1 cup of coffee with my breakfast, I will do 2 creamy drops, because that is a fuel pull. But this allows me to have my coffee through the morning as a sipper when I just use 1, because it's sipper level. It's just a half a teaspoon of MCT. It's no more than you would have in like a shrinker. So I do 1 creamy drop for like my mid-morning coffee that's in between meals. When I'm having it with a meal, I usually do 2, because I like it even better. Whoops, I just formed that. Oh no, I guess I didn't. I love it with 2. It's just extra creamy. But still a fuel pull. Anything more than 2 would be a very, very light S. Very light. Nope, no sunflower in the shrinker drop. That just doubled the creaminess. I'm gonna stick these in the fridge. I'm gonna see if the shrinker ones are firm. Yeah, these ones still have a way to go. I think my water, oh, because I microwaved them, so it warmed up a little. So these are the shrinker drops. The other thing you can do is just use a spoon to scoop them out if you don't want to. But look, see this? You're just gonna plop that into your hot tea. I wonder what it tastes like. Should we taste it? Those are actually really good. Whew. Oh, they're spicy. Because it's not. There's a lot of cinnamon. Oh yeah, it doesn't surprise me, Sherry. I always do that. Oh, those are hot. That's because they're not in tea. You want some kick. You know what? I ain't got room left in there, and I have to put them down here. Whew, those taste just like the shrinker on an extreme level. Yeah, those are like shrinker gummies, only the gummies in the book are not quite burn your teeth off hot. Those are hot, but that's because they're going in a big thing of tea. There we go. So if you want to get away from heavy cream in your coffee and you want to get away from all the, dairy filled heavy creamers that tend to, yeah, they will. That's what my dad would say. Those will put hair on your chest. If you want to get away from all of those really heavy additions to your coffee, I was going to put caramel in my shrinker and I forgot. Then this is the way to go. Now, it is very creamy and it is very delicious. If you are going straight from International Delight, a quarter cup of International Delight in your coffee, straight to one of these, you're going to say, wait, KJ, are you kidding me? This doesn't taste the same as cream. No, it doesn't. You know why? It's not International Delight. It's a healing shrinker. This shrinks you. International Delight does not. Okay. Keeps you addicted to sugar. Keeps you wanting more and more and more. And it's no bueno. But these are a fabulous alternative. And it did not take me very long at all to go from heavy cream in my coffee to these. Yeah, they work great too in the round molds. They work fabulous in the round molds, but it's not necessary. Like if you have a round mold, I used a Reese's cup one for mine, Reese's peanut butter cup size. And if you have one, use that. But if you don't go out and buy a special mold for this. Just use a pan because it's one less thing to clean. They work perfectly, little blocks. You don't need to put them in the mold or to spend extra money on a mold. Yeah, right. Shirley used to love International Delight, and now she drinks the healing trimmy. Every morning she drinks a gelatin trimmy, and it's so good for your joints. It's so good. And she drinks one every morning, but she has to pull out 155,000 ingredients. And I don't. I just have to do one plop. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. I might have these at the retreat. We may make up a whole bunch of one plop creamer drops to bring to the Joyful Life retreat in July so that everybody can have them. Thank you, Sherry. I love it too. I absolutely love my kitchen. I'm so happy with it. When we looked at this home, I was like, I don't know how I feel about the kitchen, the whole shape of it. I wasn't sure. And now, after cooking in this, I know how much this style is exactly this is what you need in a kitchen. Everything is within. Like, there's nothing that's far out of reach except my garage. Everything is right here. I love it. I love it. That's a good question, Mallory. I don't know. I would think not. But can you get gelatin that's not beef? Do they make horse gelatin or something? Probably not. Do they make chicken gelatin? Is that a thing? Does anybody know? Because I don't know. That's a good question. My mouth is still on fire from that bite of that shrinker drop. It tasted just like a shrinker, but girl, she's spicy. It's gonna be good in tea. Don't be popping those things in your mouth. All right. Look, I still have a little leftover. It's from my spoon. I have another drop right there. Look at that. I should plop that in my coffee. Why not? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, my friends. Go drink your One Plop creamy drops. Listen, if you make the One Plop creamer drops, I'd love if you would share the post out on the Trim Healthy Mama page, the Trim Healthy Mama group. Oh, good. Alicia says you can get chicken gelatin. Good to know. I would just go for that then, Mallory. I would love if you would share this out on the Trim Healthy Mama page with the link to the recipe, because I think these could be incredibly beneficial for people that find, making a trimmy time consuming and cumbersome. I think people would really benefit from these and for doing their shrinkers. So if you do make them, I would love if you would share them. All right, my friends, thanks for joining. I hope you're going to join me for Holy Healthy Spring starting on April 1st. I'm really excited. I'm working on some really amazing stuff for next month. It's going to be a great month. We're going to talk about adaptability. You can join anytime. You can join anytime at the monthly rate. If you go watch the Adapt It webinar, you will have a promo code out there to save a little bit, but either way, it's a great value. It has, my coffee has a smell on its face. Do you blame it? I just gave it a little piece of shrinker. I don't blame it for smiling. Either way, whether you use a promo code or not, the price is really really good price, and you can join for 1 month, 2 months, 5 months. And I'm telling you, if you participate in the community on Holy Healthy, you will not regret it. The women in that community have saved my life. So I hope that you'll come join us for the spring session. I love you guys, and I'll see you back tomorrow for devotions